In the last episode, we needed to make sure that we won our game against Coventry and hoped that Burnley did not win their match against eventual champions Norwich, and exactly that happened. It meant that we jumped up into 6th place. 79 points on the board, a positive 17 goal difference, which is, 4 more goals than Burnley, which means today we are into the Championship playoffs just one season after we got promoted from League One. And our opponents are a very good side in the shape of Blackburn Rovers. If we take a look at their recent fixtures, they've not been particularly great. Their last 5 games, they've lost twice against Derby and Sheffield United, beating Coventry, drawing with Cardiff as well. We have played them and beaten them 3-0, and then I think earlier on in the season they beat us like 3-1. We've beaten them twice. We've actually beaten Blackburn twice so far this season, which means we should, in theory, be favourites for this. The starting lineup for the home leg then will be pretty much as good as we can get, with Cavallina in goal, Ferguson, Mepham, House and Guinness Walker in defence, Offerborough and Hamilton in midfield, Banks, Onyedinma, Ballard and Pepper leading the lines. We do have Kelvin back from his injury, but he's not quite ready to play yet. He will be coming on in the second half. So I was utterly convinced that we had lost to Blackburn earlier on in the season, but apparently not. We did beat them twice so far, and I'm hoping that is because we're just better than them. We've just got their number, and no matter how well they play, what formation they play, we should just be good enough and actually just do the job, win the game, win both legs. That would be absolutely magical. 5 minutes on the clock. Blackburn have the free kick. It is Hyam on the right-hand side. Has to go backwards to Pickering. Close him down, buddy. Close him down. Eventually got there. Or didn't even get close, did he? And it is Blackburn still coming forward. We need to nick this ball. I can see something happening. There you go. Don Ballard is the man to do it. That's what we wanted to see. Pepper plays it back to Onyedinma, who I think has been a really good signing for us so far this season. Obviously, there's only 3 games left to play. Not the best pass back, but Cavallina is there. Across to Mepham, the former Bournemouth man. Now Offerer, right-hand side is a couple of options. Ballard is one. It's found Banks. Left-hand side is now Onyedinma. We need a runner from Guinness Walker if we can. This is a long, long highlight. So I think there's a goal, and that's not what we wanted to see. Batty has stolen the ball away from a misplaced pass from Mepham. Mepham is chasing him back, though, every single step of the way, but it's not good enough, and Blackburn take the lead after 6 minutes and 20 seconds. If we lose this match because of a misplaced pass, I'm not going to be too impressed. I mean, looking at the match stats, obviously only 15 minutes in, and we've yet to have a single shot. It looks like Blackburn are the better side at the moment, and let's face it, they have finished 3rd in the table. Ball upfield, Onyedinma though intercepts it. Ballard doesn't manage to win that head, and Rankin Costello now plays the ball through to Leonard, and his effort is dinked over the goalkeeper. It's 2-0. Oh, this is not what we wanted to be seeing. This is really not what we wanted to be seeing. Onyedinma error, that's how you say it. An Onyedinma error this time means that is 2 effectively misplaced passes to give them 2 goals. Pepper with a free kick for us. Get a goal here, get us back into the game. Ferguson needs to keep this one alive. He's gone for an overhead kick. He's gone for an overhead kick from there. You're a right back, and you're not good at striking. We've managed to get a corner from something. I'm not quite sure what. Scotty Banks has gone over to take it from the right. Where is it going to go? Towards the front post. Mepham is there. It's a ridiculously good save by the goalkeeper. We get another chance from the corner. We need to go in with at least a goal to our name. 2-1 at half-time is something we can claw back. 2-0 is pretty big. Mepham has made amends for his cock-up earlier on in the match. It is 2-1. 24 minutes played. Right, let's get a second, and all of a sudden, this looks pretty interesting, doesn't it? Obviously, we've still got, there's still 15 minutes left to play in the first half. If we can get there first, we do. Offerer can find Mika Hamilton. 4 in the box, maybe. Hamilton finds Banks, gets the assist for the first goal. Banks to Offerborough, plays it across, finds Ferguson on the right-hand side. 3, 4 in the box. He's at the post. He's hit the post. He's gone for an overhead kick, and now he's at the post. He's a right back. You shouldn't be doing that kind of thing. Free kick for Banks in a good position. He's tried to find Ferguson, and Ferguson's effort is just wide. All of his efforts have been horrendous, but at least he's having some. Rankin Costello with a throw for Blackburn. Are they going to get the ball in? Travis doesn't quite get there. Hamilton does for us, and now the counter-attack is on. Pepper's got acres of space. Pepper needs that ball and does get the ball. Onyedinma's there as well if he wants to use him. Plays it backwards, not the pass that we wanted. Pepper's going to try and keep it alive. Invites Guinness Walker forward. 3 in the box. Maybe more joining towards Pepper. It's not a good cross. And Blackburn can possibly counter-attack of their own. Leonard, one of the goal scorers, through to Sammy Smodzik. Not sure if that's how it's said at all. He's in on goal. And I'm not even sure how that managed to find its way in the back of the net. It is 3-1 to Blackburn. We need to get another goal again. I'm not sure who we're blaming for that. I think the game is blaming Guinness Walker, by the looks of it, as he's dropped down to a 6.4. Cavallina's on a 6.3. I imagine they've had, what, 4 shots on target and 3 of them have found their way in the net. Hyam to Pickering, 5 minutes left of the first half. A lot is going on so far. Travis to Bajcetic, probably not his name, is it? Rankin Costello tries to cross it, and he does. And oh my word, I think we might be solving Cavallina. Because that is 2 efforts that he definitely should have saved within the space of 5 minutes. He's dropped down to a 6.1 from that. They've had 4 shots on target and scored 4. If you look at the match stats in isolation from the scoreline, you'd think it might be 1-1, maybe 2-1 to Blackburn. Nope, we are playing... I know I said we're playing awfully. We're not playing awfully. We're just not playing well in goal and defence. Going forward, we seem to be doing okay. We're having some chances. We're keeping Cavallina on, which is possibly a risk, because he is an absolute liability. And I think we might not play him in the second match, because we've got Boyce, I've forgotten his name, Boyce Clark, is that it? He's a very good backup goalkeeper. Banks has the ball. We're 18 seconds into the second half. Maybe we're going to get ourselves a very early goal in the second half, which could be very interesting. Pepper gets the ball in. He's hit the base of the post. He's hit the post. We've arguably had the better chances, but Blackburn, look at those match ratings for Blackburn as well. Absolutely ridiculous performances from everyone in a Blackburn shirt. And then we've got Don Ballard, who's on a 7.1. Right, let's do a whole load of changes then. Leai is coming on. Cavallina is coming off. Boyce Clark is going to come on. I've had enough of you, mate. Guinness Walker for McIntyre. Pepper as well for Kelvin. That's all of our changes that we're going to do for the moment. We've still got 1 more to go. We've got higher XG than them as well. I know XG is not really a thing that matters, but we've got higher XG and we've scored literally 1 goal to their 4. Ferguson goes for a wander forward, gets past a couple of players, finds Kelvin. First match back since his injury. Leai on that left. He's got 3 in the box. Kelvin's one of them, and that's a stupid save from the goalkeeper. They've literally got a brick wall in goal. Ainsley Pears, I saved arguably 2 very good shots. We've got an XG of 2.0. They've got an XG of 1.5, and they're going to win 4-1 at this rate. I cannot believe that we have lost this in that fashion. In that fashion. How have we lost it so badly? Our star player played 30 minutes. They played 30 minutes. That was ridiculous. Right, Cavallina, a terrible performance. You deserve to get substituted. Do we want to say anything to anyone else? Fred was bad as well. Guinness Walker was not very good. I'm furious with your performance. Right, well, we've got 1 more match against Blackburn. We'll need to win at least 3-0. This is probably a risk, but we're going to go for it. The same starting 11. I'm thinking they can't play anywhere near as bad as they did in the last match. I'm tempted, very tempted to give Kelvin a start. Actually, we're going to do that, and then we're going to swap you 2 round, because Ballard as that advance forward is where he gets his goals. So Kelvin and Ballard up front, that's the only change we're going to do. Everyone else stays exactly the same. We need to win 3-0. We have had games in the past, over the last couple of seasons, where we have been good enough to win games 3-0. We've won games by 3 goals as well. We're going to have to go attacking, which is a huge risk to go attacking from the off, but we need the goals. The problem is as well, Blackburn are just going to sit back, aren't they? They've got nothing to fight for here, nothing to play for. They may as well just play 9 players behind the ball and just hope for the best. They've got themselves a corner as well. After 19 minutes, corner comes in towards the front post. It's game over. It's game over. Gianmarco Ferrari makes it 1-0, 5-1 on aggregate. We now need to win 4-1 in this game, which is possible. Blackburn did it in the last one, but it's not going to happen, is it? It's especially not going to happen with no highlights taking place. We've had 1 shot. We've now had a second shot, which also wasn't on target. It's a free kick to Blackburn. If they get... What is Cavallina doing? What was he doing? He dived the wrong way. Luckily for us, the ball was nowhere near on target. And somehow Cavallina's jumped up to a 7.0 rating there very briefly. I don't know what's going on. We are doing nothing. We've had 4 shots, not a single one on target. Half-time, it is 1-0 to Blackburn. And, I mean, what's going on? That is one of the worst halves of football I've seen, and we've just lost the game 4-1. Straight into the second half, no changes yet. But I'm looking at Ballard's playing badly, Kelvin's playing badly. I imagine, because they've got, 7 defenders? We're just not going to break through that, are we? I'm going to give him a demand more, see if it makes a difference. I imagine it probably won't make a blind bit of difference. 67 minutes played. There's no highlights. There's 1 highlight so far in this game, and it resulted in a goal for Blackburn. Guinness Walker to Onyedinma. If we score now, it means pretty much nothing, doesn't it? Ball's cleared. We're going to hopefully keep it alive. Offerer does. Back to Courtney House on the ground. Guinness Walker again, who has just signed a new contract, which I don't know if is a good thing. Courtney House nearly gives away a throw. Guinness Walker to Mika Hamilton. Back to Guinness Walker again. Down the line is Fred. There we go. Finds Onyedinma. 2 options, maybe 3 in the box. Cross comes in, Kelvin's one of them, and Kelvin is there. His 9th goal of the season, the flag's gone up. It's not our day. He's celebrating like he's scored. We're getting VAR? Do we get VAR in this league? I feel like, he has scored. Okay, fair enough. We've got 30 minutes to score 4 goals. And one thing we're going to do is we're going to bring on Pepra for Ballard, because Ballard is having an absolute shocker. Banks isn't doing well either, so Aziz is going to come on. Ferguson for Tom Holmes as a right back. Can you do that job? I guess. We're going to have to go for it, aren't we? It's still going to be way too little too late. We're 5-2 down on aggregate. It is Leonard with the ball. 75 minutes to play. I say to play. 75 minutes played. It's another one. 6-2. 6-2 on aggregate. We've not put up a fight at all. 10 minutes to go. I feel like we're going to get another goal. It's going to be 6-3, and it's going to look like we've done all right in the second leg. Onyedinma crosses it in. It's towards Aziz at the back post. Comes in, heads over the bar. Probably our second best chance of the game. Obviously, Kelvin scoring the best one. And that's it. It's over. Our dreams of getting promoted to the Premier League is completely dead in the water after the first leg. And the second leg just added on to it, didn't it, really? We were poor. We were very poor across both games. Interestingly, we get a bit of news as well about Kelvin ending his goal drought. Kelvin's not played for a very long time, so I'm not surprised he's had a goal drought. Well, we are now going to go forward to the other side of the Blackburn-Hull playoff final, because I just feel like we should see who's actually going to go up. I'm going to talk to you as well about some transfers that are planned for Season 3 as well, which realistically has to be the season that we get ourselves promoted. I guess that needs to be the target. Financially, we're not in a good way, but we will see by the end of this episode exactly what transfer budget we're going to have next season as well. I'm hoping it's got an M in it. I'm hoping for millions. In fact, we're going to see it right now by the looks of it. We have £1.48 million to spend, which is not a lot of money at all. Not really a lot of money, but we've got some players in our squad that we can shift on. We've also got some players, if we come in here and actually sort by, I think this is just our first team. It is just our first team. Players who are going to be leaving the club, so expiring. We've got Button, Yeardom and Penny all leaving the club on free transfers, so that's freeing up some wage budget. Sorting by value, we've got some players who are worth a fair amount, and we don't need 73 central defenders, so maybe a Tom Holmes, who's wanted by Bristol City or Cardiff. If we can get maybe £3-4 million for Holmes, that's not terrible. Rideval didn't really play for us. If we can get 2.5 for him, also a bit more money into the bank. We are also obviously making the Scott Banks loan deal a permanent deal as well at the end of the season, which I think is why our transfer budget is kind of being hit, because we are spending a bit of money. £1.8 million, it's not all in one hit, but we're spending a bit of money there. We're getting this man in on a free transfer. Don't really know why. He's 18 in English. He's a defensive midfielder. We need more of them. And we're also getting a man called Romans Kozlovs from Southend. He is our first new gen who's going to be actually joining us from another club. And I was looking through, and I just saw a Latvian, and I went, he's actually pretty good, isn't he? So, Kozlovs is going to be joining. He's 16. He's a central defender. We might train him up to be a central midfielder, which we can definitely do with passing and technique of that. He's a central midfielder. Right, Kozlovs is going to be a central midfielder for us. And he's only costing £235,000. We might play him a lot next season. Well, today's the day where we should have been playing our final game of the season against Hull, but instead we ballsed it up against Blackburn, which means it is Blackburn versus Hull in the playoff final. The richest game in world football, I believe, or even, maybe even world sport, who knows. Blackburn versus Hull. My money's on Blackburn. There you go, and with a click of a button, literally no loading, even just took place there, just straight into the result. And is that Sam Gallagher? It is Sam Gallagher, former Southampton player. Sam Gallagher scores in the 95th minute of extra time? It is extra time, isn't it? To put Blackburn back to the Premier League. So when you look at the league table, then Norwich, Luton and Blackburn are the ones going up next season. Who's come down? Who's come down? Everton, Leicester and Stoke have been relegated. So Everton going down could be a big deal. That could be a very big deal, because I imagine they've still got some very good players in there. But because they've also gone down, so many of them want to leave the club. They might get absolutely destroyed financially. That's some big wages. That could be some problems. We're going to finish then, which is probably going to be a very short episode, I think, with the end of season review. And obviously, we did quite well. I think we did way better than I thought we would do. The star signing is Fred Onyedinma, which I completely agree. On a free transfer, Fred Onyedinma, 42 appearances, 13 goals to his name. Scotty Banks as well with 13 goals and 11 assists to Onyedinma's 8. What else happened? Mika Hamilton, 54 matches he played. pretty sure that's every game. I don't think he missed a match all season. Mepham as well, I think for £220,000 is ridiculously good money. Ballard, we're going to miss him. We are going to miss Don Ballard. Unless, it's not going to happen, is it? It's not going to happen because they probably want him in the Premier League now. He's probably good enough to play in the Premier League. We are going to try, and we might see come episode 1 of season 3, we might see whether Don Ballard is back in the club or whether that is where some of our £1.3 million needs to go over the summer. We've got, there's a lot of people we brought in. Courtney House, we've got Cavlina, who, honestly, I'm tempted to sell you because you definitely cost us in that first leg. Lascelles, I'm tempted to try and shift on as well because we just didn't play him in the end. Played a lot of games until we brought in Mepham and then we brought in Courtney House as well. So, yeah, probably not the best signing. Williams as well, player didn't really play much. Rydvald, 36 matches off the bench, just 4 starts for Rydvald. Nathan Ferguson with 11 assists to his name. I think Ferguson's very good, and he's only 24. Obviously because we're expected to be in a relegation scrap, finishing 6th is very good. But I'm always frustrated when you get to a playoffs or a cup final or something like that. You want to win it. When you've done so well to get to that point, you want to win it. It's a C-. I got a C- for attempting to avoid relegation and finishing 6th. The board are disappointed at the team's performance in the playoffs. What did you want me to do? I'm disappointed as well. If you have a look, it's not good. It's definitely not good. FA Cup, we got knocked out by Leeds, and the Carabao Cup, we got past Leeds, actually, and got knocked out by Birmingham. Financially, I think, obviously, we're going to be better because last season was League One, but we have, what is that? That's like 6 times more broadcast revenue, which is good. Corporate hospitality has pretty much doubled. Matchday income's gone up a little bit as well. Sponsorship's down for some reason. Don't know why. And there you can see Team of the Season goals. There is a lot of goals in that. Ballard with 20. Banks and Onyedinma on 13. Kelvin on 9. Offerer on 5. 3 for Hamilton and 2 for Mepham as well. It's a lot of goals. It would be nice to see goals from players like Ferguson, but obviously he's a right back. Not really expecting that. Mika Hamilton maybe getting a few more goals to his name as well. But yeah, I'm happy with that. Best 11. Maybe not sure about Lascelles, but he did play more than Courtney House, just about. And a bunch of awards. I think it's Scott Banks seems to be taking most of them. Fans Player of the Season and Young Player of the Season goes to Banks. Signing goes to Fred Onyedinma. Goal of the Season, Ballard. Top goal scorer is Ballard as well. Ferguson with most assists. Banks most man of the match award. Highest average rating goes to Onyedinma. And most passes completed is Cameron Burgess. He's hopefully leaving. Huddersfield want him. I don't need him anymore. We brought him in last season. He did a decent job. We've now definitely replaced him. And us as a club have picked up just under £5 million for playing in the Championship. I don't think that's going to affect our transfer budget, but it does certainly help out our bank balance. I'm hoping our new owners, I can't remember his name, it's something Power, wasn't it? How do we find, it's not responsibility, Stuart, it's under, sure, there we go, Jack Power, there we go. I'm hoping old Jackie boy has got some money in his pocket that he wants to dish out to us, because that would be really helpful. It would be really helpful to have a little bit more money, because I don't think we're in a bad position when it comes to the squad that we have. I think we've got some very good players in there. You can see from Cavlina, Onyedinma, Offerer, House, Mepham, Guinness Walker, Hamilton, let's ignore Don Ballard, are all 3.5 star current ability. We need to shift on some of maybe these players down this end, but some of them are actually, they're kind of not really going to be playing a huge amount, like Leai, Basil Tuma, Bondswell. They're not going to be number 1 on the team sheet, so I'm not too fussed if they're not as good as the other players. I think we've got a good squad. I honestly don't know where we could improve. Maybe strikers, but then you think, we've got Banks, we've got Onyedinma, that's 26 goals. We've got Kelvin, who got 9 and a big injury. It's only the 20 goals from Ballard that we need to kind of fix. So before we finish then, I'm just going to take a look. This is the list of players whose contracts are expiring at the end of the season. I think this is where we need to be doing our business. And there's some potential interesting players on here. Anyone who's got a 0, I assume, means they're actually just going to be released. So we just know that we could sign them if we want. I mean, he'll be good, wouldn't he? He'll be good, but do we need to replace Offerer? Do we need to replace Hamilton? Maybe not. It's the strikers that we're looking at. Cecilio Waterman, which, by the way, is a ridiculously good name. He's 34. We're not going to go for that. But strikers is maybe where we need to look at. Do we want to have Huang Yu Zhou? Is that his name? I mean, I don't think he's great either. Sorting by my scout recommendations, we've got some players who can play as strikers. Whether they are or not, I'm not quite convinced. This one interests me. This one definitely interests me because I think he's got potential. But He's not a striker. He's a winger. He's 22. We're definitely going to add him to our shortlist, I think. But yeah, I'm going to have to do some looking through this list, maybe having a look to see as well what players are available for cheap transfer business, maybe even digging into the loan market. I'm pretty convinced that we're not going to be getting Ballard back for Season 3, but we will have to wait and see. Thank you very much for watching this episode in this season. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you in Season 3 with Reading, and hopefully we get promoted to the Premier League.